Pictures from Athens Live. That's what's
wow.
That's the reception that the Greeks have planned for Angela Merkel, who's visiting today. We're going to continue our conversation with our guest host Ken Langone. Also, Nigel Farage is a member of the European Parliament, and Michelle Cruz-Cabrera continues with us, our international correspondent, who brought Nigel along. And it occurred to me, you've got such incendiary, no, but some. It's hard to tell the truth in this day and age at times, and you have opinions about the EU, but also about what's happening here in this country. And we went to break with you saying that we are talking about the debt here. We are talking about it quite a bit, but we are too. And I don't know whether people disparage the Tea Party and say that they're obstructionist, and 2010 ushered in this horrible period of divisiveness in this country, but they were elected for a reason. And for every Tea Party member that's in Congress, there's a constituency that elected them to try to say stop to the spending that we're doing. So we're at least talking about it. Can we avoid this fate that we're seeing in Europe?
Well, I must say, when I was an Obama skeptic right from day one, it seemed to me that he is just the worst kind of politician. We've got it all across the Western world. People who get to the top in our countries who've got no experience of business or life at all. The classic career politician. So I've always been skeptical about him. I think the American spending levels are hopelessly out of control. And frankly, you know better here than some of those countries in Europe that we've just been talking about. And Romney, well, he did very well, obviously, in that TV debate last week. I would just like to see Romney be a bit less ashamed of who he is. It's as if he wants to hide from people the fact that he's made lots of money and been very successful. I would have thought he should come out all guns blazing and say, look guys, I've been a success in the commercial world. I'm the man that can make the tough decisions that America needs, and just be more upbeat about himself.
You're all going to be shareholders of Bain Capital. You're all going to benefit from my expertise in knowing how to.
Why not do that? Why not say that? Absolutely.
There's something else here. The private equity world is inhabited by limited partners from the state funds. They're the biggest investors, for good reason. The returns there are better than what they're getting.
So pensioners are benefiting, lots of average Americans are benefiting.
The fact of the matter is, if I give you money and you're going to make me 5%, you're going to charge me 50 basis points. If I give you money and you're going to make me 20%, and you take 2%, which brings me down to 18%, and 20% which brings me down to 15%.
Nigel,
I remember the commodities trading business.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good trade.
But I remember the reaction with some of our colleagues in the UK at CNBC to the 47% remarks of Romney, and they looked disgusted by those remarks. It's not like, you know, the UK, it's not like you're in a position to throw stones.
Our problem in the UK is 53%.
Yeah,
so it's a bigger problem. I think the problem with that was that if we'd heard Romney saying that a lot of these people in the 47% are actually imprisoned and trapped by a system that is not out there creating new jobs, and what I'm going to do is to create enterprise in America like we did in the 1980s to get these people out of that mess, then it would have been okay.
That's my whole thing. Expressing,
but it didn't come across that way.
Expressing empathy for people that have nots, and actually lifting them out of the position that they're in are two totally different things. And I'm tired of hearing someone tell me how empathetic they are when they have no idea
But that was a very clumsy statement, and it did not say what Nigel just said.
No, that's right, and that was the problem with it.
And he has admitted that himself. It was a clumsy.
Let's not make Mitt what he's not. Mitt is a very modest man. He's a very decent man. What you see is what you get. I think we need more of that in America today, where you can connect with the problems of the American people in the middle. And he made it clear the other night. The thing he's going to make certain is that he protects the middle class. Now, Obama wants to spin him. This is very interesting. Mitt's being called a liar by Obama's camp because Mitt is being Mitt. He's not being what they want him to be or what they cast him to be. This guy is, look, I'll tell you one thing. If this man is elected, and I think he will be, I think by a substantial margin, this man is going to go down as one of our great presidents. He's going to get the job done, and he's going to bite the bullet. I think we have a great chance of addressing our economic issues because we will be like Europe. If we don't get off this path we're on, all we're seeing is a hangover of people still believing in our currency. But once they lose faith in our currency, Game, set, match.
And what do you think about the Federal Reserve and what they're doing? You used to run a commodities trading business. How do you feel about the Federal
I'm
Reserve?
horrified. We've already mentioned the IMF earlier on, but I'm horrified at the way central banks are acting. I don't think, I mean, even Keynesian economics was not supposed to be perpetual. It was supposed to be a short-term problem in a downturn, and we're trapped with quantitative easing, with massive deficit build-ups every year, and someone's got to grip it, and if Romney's the man, good, but I'd just like to see him give a bit more leadership and say, I'm the man, I've done this.
That the other night.
Okay.
I think he did that the other night very clearly. But what you said earlier, our current sitting president, if you were to look at his resume, which we can't see because he won't let us have it, but if you were to look at his resume, no, seriously, we don't know what grades he got. We don't know where he went to college. By the way, I think...
Do we know that for Romney, though?
Absolutely. I have a trade for Romney. I'll give you 8 more years of tax returns. You unseal all your records that you won't let us see. Tell me why you surrendered your law license in Illinois, and why did your wife surrender her law license in Illinois? Let us know why. You're running for the presidency. You don't have a private life anymore. It's gone. You made that decision when you said, I'm running for president. What I'm saying is, we know one thing about Mitt Romney. He's got 25 years of solid business experience, most of which has been very successful. And he's a decent man. And by the way, I'll say it again. I'm going to feel very good when this man is president in January, because he's going to make all the right. I believe he'll bite the bullet, Nigel. I really believe this guy.
You were there for Gordon Brown, weren't you? What was that like for you?
Well, here was a man. I mean, it was awful, really, because not only did he sell.
I want this guy on the show every time.
No. Hear me out. Not only did he sell 400 metric tons of gold at an average price of $258 an ounce. Yeah. We can all make bad calls, but what he did, he announced to the markets the 17 dates on which he was going to sell the gold and the quantities. We just had a moron in charge. I mean, it was disastrous.
Well, yeah. So, like I said, once again, your glass house dweller should not question this anyway. Thanks to Nigel Farage and Michelle Cruz-Cabrera. Ken Langone will be with us for the rest of the show.
Hope to see you again.
All right, when we come back, gas prices in California is setting records, but relief may be in sight for West Coast drivers. We're going to bring you that story next. And on our What's Working series, David Harrow will bring you global portfolio picks that's coming at 8:40 Eastern time. By the way, as we head to a break, take a look at the pictures of the protesters in Athens. Again, things have turned a little more violent. You can see things being thrown back and forth. We saw fire being thrown the last time we were looking at these Molotov cocktails. You can see right now, this is what's happening. Angela Merkel is visiting from Germany for the first time since things went south there back in 2009. Squawk will be right back.